If you've been dealing with that deep ache in your hip and down your leg, especially after sitting for a while, I understand how frustrating that can be. Today, I'm sharing 3 simple things that finally gave me relief after months of dealing with this pain. I spent nearly 40 years working office jobs, behind a desk most of my life, and about 2 years ago, this pain started creeping up on me. At first it was just a little discomfort after sitting for dinner. But before long, I couldn't sit through a movie with my wife without that deep ache in my hip, and sometimes that shooting pain down my leg. I tried the stretches, used those tennis balls everyone talks about, even went to physical therapy for a while. And sure, I'd get some relief, but by evening, that ache would be back, sometimes even worse. What changed everything was when my physical therapist mentioned something that made me think differently. She said my muscle wasn't just tight, it was exhausted and inflamed. We needed to feed it, not just stretch it. That sent me down a research path, reading everything I could find about what actually helps muscles recover. And I found something fascinating. In traditional medicine, especially in Asia and Europe, they've been treating this kind of pain with simple minerals and heat therapy for centuries. Not fancy equipment, not expensive treatments, just things most of us have at home. Within a week of trying these 3 things, I was back to my woodworking projects. Within 2 weeks, I was sleeping through the night again. And the best part? I haven't had a flare-up in over 6 months now. So let me explain what's actually happening with piriformis syndrome. In plain English, that piriformis muscle sits deep in your hip, and when you sit a lot, or when it gets weak over time, it gets tight and angry. When it tightens up, it can press on the sciatic nerve that runs right underneath it. That's what causes that deep ache, and sometimes that tingling or numbness down your leg. Now, here's what most people don't know. When a muscle is tight like that, it's often because it's lacking something it needs to relax. Think of it like a Charlie horse that won't let go. Traditional healers figured out centuries ago that this kind of muscle cramping often meant the body needed more minerals, especially magnesium. Modern science has proven they were right. Magnesium is like the off switch for muscles. Without enough of it, your muscles literally can't relax properly. The second thing is blood flow. When a muscle is tight, it's not getting enough fresh blood. And without blood flow, it can't heal. That's where heat comes in. It opens up those blood vessels, kind of like warming up a garden hose on a cold morning so water flows easier. And third, and this is the one most people miss, if you keep sitting on that muscle all day, it's like pressing on a bruise over and over. It'll never heal. So we need to take the pressure off. All right, let me show you exactly what worked for me and what I've seen work for others since then. First, magnesium. Now, about 80% of Americans don't get enough magnesium from their diet. But here's something important most people don't know. Not all magnesium supplements are created equal. In fact, some types barely work at all. The cheap magnesium oxide you find at most stores, your body only absorbs about 4% of it. It's basically a waste of money. What you want is magnesium glycinate. That's the form that actually gets absorbed by your muscles, where you need it. It won't upset your stomach, and it has this wonderful calming effect that helps you sleep better too. Some people also do well with magnesium malate, which is good for muscle pain and gives you a bit more energy during the day. I've put links in the description below to the specific types that work. I spent weeks researching this when I was dealing with my own pain, so I want to save you that trouble. Just look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate. Take 300 to 400 milligrams with dinner. That's usually 2 capsules. Why with dinner? Because magnesium also helps you sleep better, which helps your body heal. Here's a bonus tip. 2 or 3 times a week before bed, take a warm bath with Epsom salt. That's magnesium sulfate, and your body absorbs it right through your skin. Use about 2 cups. That's a good handful. Soak for 20 minutes. It's wonderfully relaxing, and it gets magnesium right where you need it. Second, heat therapy, but not just any heat, deep, moist heat. Get yourself a heating pad that stays moist, or make a simple compress. Here's an old-fashioned way that works beautifully. Take a damp towel, warm it in the microwave for about a minute. You want it hot, but not burning, and place it right on your hip where it hurts most. Do this for 20 minutes, twice a day if you can. Once in the morning to loosen things up, and once before bed. The moist heat penetrates deeper than dry heat. You'll feel the muscle start to let go. Third, and this is crucial, you have to take the pressure off that muscle during the day. If you sit a lot, get up every 30 minutes. I know that sounds like a lot, but even just standing for 30 seconds makes a difference. Set a timer on your phone if you need to. Get a seat cushion with a cutout in the middle. They're about $25 to $30 online. It takes pressure off your tailbone and that piriformis muscle. I use mine in the car, at my desk, everywhere. And here's something simple. Don't sit on your wallet or phone in your back pocket. I know it sounds silly, but that creates uneven pressure right on that muscle. One more thing, and you can combine this with what I just shared. That gentle exercise where you sit and pull your knee toward the opposite shoulder while resisting slightly, that's excellent. Just remember to keep it gentle. Any pain should be less than a 3 out of 10. Now, I need to be completely honest with you about something important. If you're taking blood thinners, heart medication, or if you have kidney issues, please check with your doctor before taking magnesium supplements. It's generally very safe, but your doctor needs to know what you're taking. And if your pain is severe, or if you're having numbness or weakness in your leg, don't wait. See a doctor to make sure it's not something more serious. This piriformis pain is usually harmless, but it's always better to be safe. Your health and safety matter. You know, when I'm back doing the things I enjoy, whether it's working on a project or just taking a walk without pain, I'm reminded of something important. Our bodies are remarkably good at healing themselves when we give them what they need. Sometimes it's not about complex treatments or expensive procedures. Sometimes it's about the simple things: minerals, warmth, and rest. You deserve to live without that constant ache. You deserve to do the things you love without pain holding you back. If this helped you, please subscribe to the channel and share this with someone who might be dealing with the same pain. Take care of yourself. You're worth it.